Howdy guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be cleaning out my car after about 3 months of not being able to clean it. I've been super busy at work and really haven't had a chance to vacuum the car or really just clean it at all. I typically try and keep my car clean at least once per week, but unfortunately I have been unable to do that. Make sure you stay tuned until the very end of this video because that's where I will be showing the after clips of when the car is completely cleaned. So that is definitely a couple of satisfying shots that you will want to see. If you enjoy this type of content, definitely leave me a like. It lets me know that you enjoy this type of content and I can make more videos like this in the future. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and if I can get there, it would really make my year. So as you can see here, there's quite a bit of trash buildup all over the car. So typically what I do is when I use something, I just kind of leave it in the passenger seat or leave it in the back seat and I clean it out. But as I've mentioned, I've been unable to do that. There is a lot of clutter and a lot of dust built up here on the carpets. I live in a very dry area, so when people come inside and outside of the vehicle, they basically bring a lot of that dirt inside and it tends to build up very quickly. It's been raining a lot, so I've been also kind of unable to go through the car wash because of that. And even though the rain kind of helps with keeping the outside of the car clean, there is definitely still a layer of dust on the outside that you might not be able to tell from afar, but once you get up close, you really can see sort of that thicker layer of dust that doesn't come off with just rain. As you can see here, there are also some bird, bird doo-doo kind of on the vehicle. So you definitely want to remove that. And even the back of the vehicle here, you can see a lot of dirt built up behind the lip of the back of the car. The rims are particularly dirty, especially the front rims. I don't know what it is about the rims, but they get dirty very quickly, especially with these front ones. So as you can see here, there's quite a bit of dust that we'll be removing in a little bit once we start cleaning the car. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. I live in a city without a garage or a driveway, so I really depend on these automated drive-through car washes to clean the outside of the car. Of course, I'm going to be going on the outside with a microfiber cloth and really getting the rest of the spots out manually. But the first step is to just kind of get that upper layer of dust off with this car wash. And I've been going to this car wash for years, so I'm really not concerned about any scratches or anything like that. I don't want to baby my car either, so if there are a couple of scratches here and there over the years, I think I'm okay with that. So far, I haven't really noticed anything. The first thing I'm going to do is take some glass cleaner and make sure that everything on the windows and the glass is completely dry and clean. What happens with the hard water here in the city is that it dries and it dries with a spot. So you want to make sure that you use a glass solution to dry everything out and make sure that those water spots don't dry out before you get to them. I'm doing the same thing here with my windshield. My windshield has a lot of residue from the tree that I park underneath, and so I really have to go in there hard and rub those individually off. And like I said before, making sure that that water doesn't dry before you get to it. Also making sure that you lift the windshield wiper and get all that dirt underneath there. If you don't, when you use your windshield wipers, that dirt will basically spread all over the windshield. I'm kind of tackling this half and half, so I do the driver's side first and then I move over to the passenger side and repeat the process. I wanted to show this as well. These are just an example of that residue from the tree that gets stuck on my windows, and you can see it there on the side view mirror as well, where these little things don't come off during the automated car wash, so you really have to go in there and manually rub them off. And then the back of the vehicle where the car wash doesn't really reach. All right, so this is probably my favorite part. As you saw from one of the before clips, there is a lot of dust that gets built up on these rims. So in between the spokes of the rim, you really do have a lot of dust built up, and I don't know what it is. This wasn't even the dirtiest rim. The front one was the dirtiest, but as you'll be able to see here in a second, even just at the beginning of starting the cleaning process, you see a lot of dirt buildup on the cloth itself, and it just goes to show these rims really do get dirty. I try to clean them at least once a month. What ended up happening with my last car was that I went a couple of years without cleaning them out, and the dust built up so much and it caked on so hard that it was virtually impossible to clean them out. So I make sure that I clean them out once a month to really prevent the dirt from building up to the point where it's not cleanable anymore. I could have done an extra step and gone inside of the rim to really clean all of that out, but since it was the first time in 3 months that I've been cleaning this car, I was just sort of focused on the more superficial elements of the car. So as you can see there, just kind of getting in between those crevices really does make a difference. And you'll see here in a little bit how much dirt just this one rim picked up. See how much dirt, and that's really just one rim. All right, so moving on to the interior of the car, the easiest thing for me to do here is to declutter and detrash. So basically what I mean by that is all the clutter that you have inside, organizing it. I like to use the trunk of my car. So for example, this bag, and I had some camera equipment as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the back and just organize everything. I'm also throwing out the more obvious pieces of trash that need to be thrown out, and that alone makes a big difference. I'm gonna be cleaning out the mats of the car separately, but just decluttering and detrashing everything definitely makes one of the biggest differences in my opinion. These rubber mats really do a good job at catching a lot of the dirt, a lot of the mud that go inside of the car, but nonetheless, there is still a lot of vacuuming that needs to be done, and I do apologize about my camera sort of zooming in and zooming out. I needed to change the settings before I filmed this, but I totally forgot. So what I'm doing here with the vacuum is really rubbing it up and down the carpet to make sure that all that dirt is released. If you want to go an extra step, you can get a dry bristle brush and brush out the dirt before you vacuum, but this car is only 6 months old. I'm not at the point where I need to do that yet. So really what I'm doing here is just using the vacuum hose itself to brush inside of the carpet and really get all those dirt particles off and out of the carpet. All right, so that's basically how it looks after. You can see it's really a big difference when you vacuum everything thoroughly. It really makes a huge difference in my opinion. So now I'm using this vinyl leather rubber cleaner that I got off of Amazon. I'll link it below in case you guys are interested. This is good for, as the name suggests, all sorts of vinyl, leather, and plastic inside of the car. My seats are Sensatech, which is basically just a fancy way of saying they are made out of plastic. So this is a perfect product for that. If you have a black interior, I would highly recommend this product. This product actually was recommended by a different YouTuber. I cannot remember his name, but he used it to clean the interior of his car, and it is great to get that grime out. And the great thing that I love about this as well is that it leaves a beautiful new car smell, kind of like a rubber smell. So if you're into that, then you'll definitely love this product. As you can see here, I also use it to clean my rubber mats. With these, instead of vacuuming them, I rub all the dirt off and also just rub the product into the mat to get rid of all those footprints. And sometimes you do have to go over it a couple of times to make sure that all those footprints are rubbed off. But as you can see here, even just with one pass, it makes a big difference. You can see here a little bit on the underside that there are still a couple of footprints that I needed to get off, but all you have to do is just rub it a little bit harder and those are sure to come off quickly. All right, so this is the driver's seat, and I'll show an after shot of this in a couple of moments, but the driver's seat is definitely the dirtiest. And so I took out the mat, and as you can see there, lots of debris underneath the mat as well, and inside of all those crevices. So I went in there just like the passenger side and really cleaned everything out thoroughly. That's a little bit of the after shot, which I'll include more shots of the after here in a moment. All right, so the final step is to go on the outside of the car and get out all those spots that the car wash didn't take out on its own. These are just spots from sitting underneath a tree, and you really have to rub these out, otherwise they'll build up over time and they'll become really hard to remove. All right, so this is the after. As you can see, it makes such a big difference. Even though my car wasn't the dirtiest, just having that layer of dust and dirt definitely kind of took away from the appeal. When you look at the car like this, when it's fully cleaned, when it's fully dusted off and cleaned out, it really does look brand spanking new. And I really love this feeling when you're just stepping inside of a car and it's totally clean. This is a little bit of the before, just to remind you, just taking out the trash and vacuuming made such a big difference for this. All right, and a couple of other close-ups here, especially in the stepping tread there where it gets particularly dirty, and the back of the car also where the car wash doesn't really do a good job at cleaning it on its own. You can definitely tell a difference even from afar. I mean, this is a sunny day, so you definitely have that extra shine going on, but you can definitely tell the difference, especially on the rims, as you can see there. I mean, they look like night and day. Alrighty guys, well thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this type of content, definitely leave it a like. That way it lets me know to make more videos like this for the future. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so that would definitely make my year if I can reach that goal. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Wokalili, and until my next video. Bye guys.